Hey, Steve Basic Architect. Yeah, we are out here at our New Age estate. It is looking good. There is a lot happening here. Absolutely coming out beautiful. Why don't we take a little walk around the outside, and then we'll shoot some videos on each of the floors and bring you up to date on progress. I'll catch you out by the driveway by the garage door. So I'll see you on the other side of the house. All right, so we're starting right here, edge of the driveway. Every one of our entries, we have a kind of cobblestone entry. You can see we have some nice cobblestone perimeter, and they put the lower part of asphalt in. You know, we call this the binder. It's basically the base. That's why it's so rough. This will actually come up about 2 inches and be level with the cobblestone. And you can see here, we did a beautiful picture frame. I say we, but the team, Andover Landscape and his team, it's a design build firm. So they design all the landscape, but they do all of the work. And you can see here, just a beautiful outline of the main car garage. And this is one of the entries. Let's call it the back driveway, because if we continue that walk around the side here, you can also back out your cars and go out the main entry over here. And we have some new plantings here. We have some nice steel framed stone beds, but basically we have the guest portion here. So you can see we have the two kind of little pathways there for the tires to come in, bring people here. This is pretty much an area for, like, you know, the Amazon deliveries, guests. They can all come in. There's a couple, you know, maybe 2, maybe 3 parking spaces there, and then the people can back up and leave there. Or if one of the clients just wants to come in and have a quick shot, they can park, go in the front door, or they have access around here that connects to the garage too, which I think is just an absolutely incredible design by Russell and the team at Andover Landscape. Knitting the kind of back driveway and front driveway together, separating them. It's very much like what we do with a floor plan, where you have very public driveway and more of a semi-private driveway. No friends or anybody are really going to come there. They're all going to come here, and certainly Amazon trucks and all of that stuff is here. Now, a couple of the smaller touches that we have here is, you know, I like how they bookend the stone wall here with, you know, basically some hitching posts, just some large reclaimed granite there. We have a couple nice bushes there. We'll have some beautiful lighting here, and I'm sure we'll have a nice address sign out there. But the whole driveway perimeter is lined with this cobblestone. And then you see here, we kind of have the headstone of the parking space is about 4 feet of cobblestone, and then it switches to the pavers that will take you around to the front door there. But beautiful complement to the house here. If we come over a little closer here, you'll notice, you know, we have stone beds around the perimeter there. It really helps soften the edge, but we have steel there that will bring the lawn up to, and all of this is going to come up a little before they seed it or sod it. And then here in the front of the house, we actually went back to more of a cut stone, and you can see across the front here, all of those planters are in fact just that. So coming out here, and we can swing wide so we can get a nice shot of the house. But you can see the garage, and then we have that utility space there. We have our kind of large nested gable here that calls out that front entry. And then we have our negative space porch, which just simply means that it's kind of carved out from the house. And then we have some spaces down on the end there with some windows. But, you know, I think it's looking really sharp. The landscape, the house, beautiful complement to each other. We have some beautiful light posts. So this is actually drilled all the way through, and you can see it's already, wire has been pulled. So we'll have a nice light that sits up on the top there. Then coming around, now the front porch isn't done, and you might be saying, okay, Steve, you know, the house is well underway, you're doing landscape, but we don't have siding there. Well, let me tell you, Brian, who's in charge here from Howell, and Howell is just a great building culture, but Brian, in his infinite wisdom, what he's done here is he's got his guys doing work on the inside. And the reason he saved the porch here and the back porch is at some point the flooring guys are coming in and they're going to have to finish the floor. And what that means is when they sand and finish, nobody else can be inside the house. So what that means is his guys will jump outside. So he wanted to preserve a little bit of outside work, a week or so, with this, the back porch, and tidying up on the outside all of the finished details. And that way there, the flooring guys can have the inside of the house for maybe a little over a week. So anyways, we have our porch. You can see the caps are going on there. We can take a little walk up here, actually. These are, you know, pretty unassuming posts. This is all going to be the Modern Mill Acre on the wall here. It's going to be in a board and batten style. But one of the things that we did here was we built down the beam, and we also put in some cross beams to help break up that ceiling as it goes across there. So we didn't have any seams. We just had a bunch of pieces, and then of course lights are centered on the windows. So there's a whole orchestrated dimensional scenario here of you have the curved window, the light is centered on that, the beams are centered on the columns are equally spaced across here, the windows are centered on the spacing of the columns. So we have all of that kind of music, right? I always associate a lot of times architecture to the music industry, right? So when you have an orchestra and you have, I don't know, 10 or 15 different instruments, 20 different instruments, they are all playing in sync to create one sound. And that's pretty much what we try to do here. Is we have a lot of instruments in what we're doing here, but they're all playing in sync to that one sound, hopefully. So beautiful shot down the side of the house here, looking really good. Solar panels are installed. Again, we have some of the landscape. This part of the yard, it's going to come up a little in grade here. We have a few trees planted around to just help soften the edges and such, and help delineate and frame that front elevation. As we come around to the side here, this is more of what I would term the dirty side of the house. And you can see there's that nice stone beds again happening there. We still have, you know, some work to do here, but it'll taper off once we go around from the front of the house. But here you can see our first gutter and downspout. We are doing all half barrel copper gutters. You can see them there with a 3-inch round tube downspout, which I absolutely love it. In fact, I have it on my own house. Yeah, nice and shiny. That it'll go to its ugly phase for a little bit, and then it'll get a nice green patina later in life, and then it'll stay that for literally the rest of its life. Coming around the side here, one of the things to point out, if you're not familiar, we have our Aquar hose bib there, so they have their own attachment that everything connects to. Nice stainless steel cover, and you can get them in a black finish also. Coming around the corner here, our light well is all done, and we'll be able to see that probably a little easier from when we're down in the basement. But those are full-size windows. They meet egress. We can climb out of there. That, in fact, can be a bedroom downstairs. So we have that in beautiful stone. Andover did a good job. We have our exhaust and intake for our ERV right there. And then, of course, we have our covered porch here. And, you know, one of the things that I love working with Howell about, everything that Brian does, or let me start out by saying everything that we do, when we put a line on a piece of paper, it's very intentional. It's centered, it's measured, it's spaced equally, whatever the case is, but there's intent. We never just draw something for the sake of kind of filling that space, right? The dimension is intentional. So when you work with a builder that has the same level of culture and intent, it makes everything that much better. So when I look at this on the inside here, you will notice there's what, 4, 8, 11 holes in the ceiling. 8 of them are recessed lights, 2 of them are speakers, 1 is for a fan. But there's not one hole up there that either isn't in the center of one of the boards or the center of the outlet is centered on a joint of that. So Brian and his guys, meticulous layout there to ensure when you look up, it just looks right. There's nothing to question. It's not like, hey, why is that light not centered on that board? You look up, you see it immediately, it looks okay, you move on, right? The same with the wall there and these 2 doors. So those 2 doors, they're not quite centered on the wall, but understand the center of the porch and the center between those 2 doors is centered on the fireplace behind the camera there, which was an intent by the homeowner. So we'll have a nice set of stairs that cascade down. This was an existing patio, existing fireplace, existing pool that we had to adapt the house to. And I think that the people over at Andover Landscape just did a beautiful job kind of stitching the landscape together, bringing the grade up a little bit, but making this experience of covered porch, trellis area, pool here just work exceptionally well together. And then coming over to here, we have a few steps up, and this was existing at the pool, but that takes us up to grade. We have steps up. This is just simply a back door to the mudroom. Remember, you have a pool here. That window is to a bathroom, so we have a bathroom directly accessible from the pool. A couple steps in the house, and you're in it there. And then stepping up here, we have our door to the garage with another beautiful walkway here. And of course, we have our, I think it's 66 kW of Tesla batteries here. So yes, the whole house is electric. Their cars are electric. Everything about this house, let's just say it's electric. And then that brings us back around to where we started here. We have our 3 beautiful carriage house doors, solar panels up on the roof, some nice coach lights there. Again, the driveway. And we'll bring this around front and we'll close this bad boy out. So, but yeah, so that's progress on the outside. You can see we are well underway here, and I don't know about you, I think it's looking beautiful, but thanks for joining me on this ride. We'll still do a few more out here. We'll catch up. These have a few more things to do, and when the lawn and everything gets in, we'll make sure we do some final runs. But I think it's really nice to start, you know, seeing some of these projects at their near end and get an understanding. We're right at the end of August, and you know, these guys had till the end of the year to finish. They're going to finish this project probably a couple months early, so they're just doing a really great job. If you're a subscriber, thank you very much. Thanks for joining in. If you're not a subscriber, then smash that subscribe button. Go tell all your friends. Yes, all the videos that you see, I mean, occasionally I tour a friend's project or something where I'm visiting, but for the most part, all of these videos, these are projects that I know intimately. I drew most of the drawings for this house, the details, all of that. So if you'd be respectful, ask your questions, I will give you very respectful answers. So I thank you for joining me, and there you have it, folks. I'm Steve Baczek, Architect. Until next time, long live our buildings.